வாழ்க்கை வாழ்க்கை நல்லா இதுன்னு
ஃபுல்லா ஒர்க்கிங் கிளாஸ்மா ஹிஸ்டரிய பொருத்தி பாருமா ஆள போறோம் மொத்த வாழ்டமா அமர் சிக்கல் நம்ம லோகமா வேர்ல்டு ஃபுல்லா ரெட் பிளாக்குமா பார்த்துட்டோம் பல்ல செட்டு பேக்குமா கொடுக்க போறோம் கம் பேக்குமா இனிமே இங்க நம்ம ரூலுமா தடைகள் உடைக்கும் பட உலகை காக்கும் பட திருப்பி அடிக்கும் பட இது இடது பட தடைகள் உடைக்கும் பட உலகை காக்கும் பட திருப்பி அடிக்கும் பட
கொஞ்சம் பேசிக்கிறேன் அங்க ஃபீல்ட்ல யாருன்னு பாத்துக்கிறேன் என் ஃபைட் ஃபார் ரைட்னு கூட்டமா நிக்கிறான் யாருப்பா அந்த ரெட் ஷர்ட் கேக்குறான் கால் மேல கால் போட்டு ஃபைடா கேட்டுக்கோ கரெக்டா இருந்துக்கோ லெஃப்டா புரிஞ்சுக்கோ மார்க்ஸா பேசுற கம்யூனிஸ்ட் பாத்துக்கோ தலைவன் விரலோ உழைப்பவன் துருளோ படிச்சுட்டு குடிச்சிட்டு ஊரா விட்டு வர்றீங்க ஊறி போன ஒன்றிய உரிமையை பறிக்கிட ஊருங்க போட்டுட்டு இருந்து பயம் இல்ல தானே சேர்ந்த கூட்டம் நாட்டு முழுவதும் கேட்கிற சத்தம் கான்ட்ரைல் அடிக்கிற வரையில கொடுக்கிற உரிமையை செங்கோட்டி பிரிச்சு மாத்தணும் நிலைமையை நீதி கிடைச்சிட்டு வரையில கேட்கிற வாய்ஸ் நியூஸ் திருப்பு நான் பாக்குற கேஸ் போட்டால அசரர் பாருங்க எடுத்துட்டா மனிதத்தை பேசிட்டு சமமா சரி சமமா ஓசனமா ஒழுகிற குரல் சமமா சரி சமமா ஓசனமா ஒழுகிற குரல் சமமா சரி சமமா ஓசனமா ஒழுகிற குரல்
இது இடது பட தடைகள் உடைக்கும் பட உலகை காக்கும் பட திருப்பி அடிக்கும் பட சொல்லும் நம்ம பேர அலறும் பாரு சர்க்காரு மோதி பார்த்தவன் பல பேரு ரொம்ப ஆடாத உட்காரு சொல்லும் நம்ம பேர அலறும் பாரு சர்க்காரு மோதி பார்த்தவன் பல பேரு ரொம்ப ஆடாத உட்காரு அதிகாரம் வளரணுண்டா அநியாயம் அழியணுண்டா கேஸ்டிஸ்ட் கதறணுண்டா புது உலகம் பிறக்கணுண்டா அடியார் இந்த தத்துவோம் தப்பு செஞ்சா தட்டுவோம் வெள்ளம் மொத்தமா மாத்துவோம் சிவப்பு கொடியை ஏத்துவோம் அடியார் இந்த தத்துவோம் தப்பு செஞ்சா தட்டுவோம் வெள்ளம் மொத்தமா மாத்துவோம் சிவப்பு கொடியை மட்டும் ஏத்துவோம் இது இடது பட தடைகள் உடைக்கும் பட உலகை காக்கும் பட திருப்பி அடிக்கும் பட இது இடது பட தடைகள் உடைக்கும் பட உலகை காக்கும் பட திருப்பி அடிக்கும் பட நன்றி.
தேங்க்யூ.
I request our senior leaders, Comrade S. Ramachandra Pillai, Comrade Bhiman Basu, and Comrade Anand Mulla to the dais, and Mr. N. Ram, our patron to the reception committee of this party congress, should have come to the dais. Comrade T.K. Rangarajan also come forward to take the seats.
Comrades, distinguished guests and friends, for this inaugural session of the 24th Congress, I would invite now Comrade Manik Sarkar, member of the Politburo, to preside over this session.
Thank you all. We are going to start our inaugural session with condolence resolutions that will be moved by our Politburo member, Comrade Brinda Korat. I would request her to come and place the condolence resolutions.
President of this inaugural session, Comrade Manik Sarkar, distinguished guests, leaders of the CPIM and the left parties on the stage, dear delegate comrades and guests, it is with a sense of our collective deep loss that I place before you our tribute to Comrade Sitaram Yechuri, our General Secretary. The 24th Congress of the Communist Party of India Marxist pays respectful homage to the memory of Sitaram Yechuri, General Secretary of the Communist Party of India Marxist, who was an outstanding leader of the communist movement. He died on September 12, 2024, at the age of 72. In his 5 decades of political life, he made his mark, first as a leader of the student movement, as president of the Jawaharlal Nehru University Students' Union and later the Students' Federation of India. He made a big contribution to developing the progressive student movement. Sitaram Yechuri joined the party in 1975, and he was elected to the Central Committee in 1985, to the Central Secretariat in 1989, and to the Politburo in 1992. He was elected as a General Secretary of the party at the 21st Congress in 2015. As part of the leadership at the party center for over 30 years, Sitaram, with his deep grasp of Marxism, played a key role in formulating the party's ideological political positions, particularly after the fall of the Soviet Union. He also made a penetrating critique of the Hindutva ideology as espoused by the RSS chief Golwalkar. Sitaram Yechuri played an important role in formulating the political positions of the party from time to time. In the recent period, he played an active role forging the broad unity of secular opposition parties, which led to the formation of the India Bloc. He was a member of the Rajya Sabha for 2 terms from 2005 to 2017. Sitaram Yechuri was a prolific writer. He was the editor of the party's paper, People's Democracy, for over 2 decades. He was also the editor of the party's theoretical journal, The Marxist. In his untimely demise, the communist and the left movement of the country suffered a grievous loss. The party Congress pledges to steadfastly follow the example he set for all of us.
We would stand for a minute to pay our respect and regard to the memory of Comrade Sitaram Yechuri. Thank you.
Comrade Kodiyari Balakrishnan. The 24th Congress pays homage to the memory of Kodiyari Balakrishnan, prominent leader of the Communist Party in the left movement. He was a member of the Politburo and secretary of the Kerala State Committee of the party. He died on October 1st, 2022. He was only 68 years old. Balakrishnan was one of the builders of the Students' Federation of India in Kerala and served as its state secretary from 1973 to 1979. Later, he was active in the youth organization and also served as the state secretary of the Kerala Karshaka Sangam. He was jailed during the emergency for 18 months under the MISA. Balakrishnan made his mark as an able party organizer. He served as the secretary of the Kannur District Committee of the party, as a member of the State Committee and the Secretariat. He was elected to the Central Committee of the party in 2002 and to the Politburo in 2008. As the secretary of the State Committee, he made a big contribution to the development of the party. Kodiyari was also a brilliant legislator and was elected to the Legislative Assembly 5 times from the Thalassery Assembly constituency. He was the Minister for Home and Tourism in the LDF government from 2006 to 2011. The party Congress pays tribute to his dedicated service. Buddhadev Bhattacharya. The 24th Congress of the party pays homage to the memory of Comrade Buddhadev Bhattacharya, an outstanding leader of the party who was a member of its Politburo and served as Chief Minister of West Bengal. He died on August 8, 2024. He was 80 years old. Buddhadev Bhattacharya joined the party in 1966 while he was a student. He became the State Secretary of the West Bengal Democratic Youth Federation in 1968. He was elected to the West Bengal State Committee of the party in 1971 and became a State Secretariat member in 1982. Comrade Buddhadev became a member of the Central Committee of the party at the 12th Congress of the party in 1985. He was elected to the Politburo in 2000, of which he remained a member till 2015. Buddhadev distinguished himself first as a minister and later on when he succeeded Comrade Jyoti Basu as the Chief Minister in November 2000. He played a key role in formulating the approach and policies of the Left Front government. He made a significant contribution to the development of cultural institutions and sustaining progressive cultural values. He was a poet, a playwright, and a writer. Comrade N. Shankaraya. The 24th Congress of the party pays tribute to the memory of N. Shankaraya, veteran leader of the party and a dedicated Marxist. He died on November 15, 2023, at the age of 102. Shankaraya joined the freedom struggle when he was a student, joining the Communist Party in 1940. He was one of the 32 National Council members who walked out to form the Communist Party of India Marxists subsequently. He made a major contribution to building the communist movement in Tamil Nadu. He served as the secretary of the State Committee from 1995 to 2002. He was elected thrice to the Tamil Nadu State Assembly in 1967, 1977, and 1980. He was also involved in the development of the Kisan movement and became the General Secretary and President of the All India Kisan Sabha. He altogether spent 8 years in jail till the eve of independence. The detailed condolence resolution, comrades, will be placed before the delegate session. Here, we pay homage to our martyrs. In this period, since the 23rd Party Congress, 22 valiant comrades were martyred, brutally killed, defending the red flag, the cause of the party, and in the battle for a better India. Among them were 2 comrades killed by the RSS in Kerala, 3 by the BJP in Tripura, 11 by the TMC in Bengal, and comrades from Bihar, Jharkhand, who were killed by landlords and their mafia. The 24th Party Congress pays its homage and dips its red manna in the memory of these heroes. The 24th Party Congress pledges that their supreme sacrifice will not be in vain. Red salute to our martyrs. Long live our martyrs.
Let us stand for a while to pay our respect to our departed leaders and also to the martyrs. Thank you. Now, I would request Comrade K. Balakrishnan, the Chairman of the Reception Committee of the 24th Congress of the Communist Party of India Marxist. He will now deliver his speech to this inaugural session.
Respected Chairman, delegates and observers of the 24th Congress of the Communist Party of India Marxist, members of the Politburo and the Central Committee, respected left party leaders who have come over here to greet the party Congress, and our special guests, media friends, and comrades, brothers and sisters who are here to attend the inaugural session of the party Congress. We convey our revolutionary greetings to you all on behalf of the reception committee. We deem it an honor to welcome you all on behalf of the reception committee and on behalf of the toiling masses of Tamil Nadu. We convey our hearty greetings and thanks to the Central Committee of the party for giving us the golden opportunity to hold the 24th Congress of our party in Tamil Nadu. We welcome you all, showering you on the internationally renowned Madurai Malligai jasmine petals. We welcome you to all to Tamil Nadu and the city of Madurai, wherein ancient Tamil poet Kaniyan Pungunanar sang about the unity of the world and universal brotherhood by saying Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir. A detailed welcome address has been circulated to you all. I don't want to take up much of your time by reading all those pages. I request you to accept this welcome as I read the welcome address in whole. But at the same time, I want to bring only some aspects of this address in order to save the time. That too, in Tamil, I want to express my address. அன்புள்ள அனைத்து தோழர்களுக்கும் என்னுடைய பணிவான வணக்கம். தனக்கு இழைக்கப்பட்ட அநீதியை எதிர்த்து நீதி கேட்டு போராடிய கண்ணகியின் குரலுக்கு பாண்டிய மன்னனுடைய கோட்டை கொத்தளங்கள் அதிரமடைந்த மதுரை மாநகரில் மோடி ஆட்சியின் அதிகார பீடத்தை தகர்த்தெறிவதற்கு கங்கணம் கட்டி செயல்படுகிற மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சியினுடைய 24வது மாநாடு நடைபெறுவது சால பொருத்தம் என்றே நாங்கள் கருதுகிறோம். 24வது மாநாட்டை நடத்த வேண்டும் என்று எங்களை பணித்து எங்களை அழைத்த தோழர் சீதாராம் யெச்சூரி அவர்கள் இந்த மாநாடு நடக்கிற இந்த நேரத்திலே நம்மிடையே இல்லை என்பது பெரும் துயரமாக இருக்கிறது. மாநாட்டு பணிகளை உற்சாகமாக துவங்குகிற நேரத்தில் அவர் மறைந்த செய்தி இடியென எங்கள் தலையிலே இறங்கியது. அந்த சுமையை சுமந்து கொண்டுதான் தமிழ்நாடு முழுவதும் இருக்கிற மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சியுடைய ஊழியர்கள், தோழர்கள், சகோதர அமைப்பினுடைய தோழர்கள் இந்த மாநாட்டை வெற்றிகரமாக நாங்கள் நடத்துவதற்கு கங்கணம் கட்டி செயல்பட்டிருக்கிறோம் என்பதை இந்த நேரத்திலே நான் பெருமையோடு நினைவு கூற விரும்புகிறேன். தமிழ் மண் என்பது நீண்ட நெடுங்காலமாக முற்போக்கு விழுமியங்களை தன்னிடத்திலே கொண்டிருக்கிற பல வரலாற்று பெருமை படைத்தது. பிறப்புக்கும் எல்லா உயிர்க்கும் என முழங்கிய திருவள்ளுவர், முற்போக்கு சமூக விழுமியங்களை முழங்கிய எண்ணற்ற சிந்தனையாளர்கள் வாழ்ந்த மண் தமிழ் மண். நம்முடைய சமூக சீர்திருத்தத்தை வலியுறுத்திய ராமானுஜர், வாடிய பயிரை கண்டபோதெல்லாம் வாடி நின்ற வள்ளலார் ராமலிங்க அடிகளார், சமத்துவத்தை போதித்த வைகுண்டசாமி, சாதிய ஏற்றத்தாழ்வுகளை அடித்து நொறுக்க வேண்டும் என்று முழங்கிய பண்டிதர் அயோத்திதாசர், சுவாமி சகஜானந்தா, தனியொரு மனிதனுக்கு உணவில்லை என சகத்தினை அழித்திடுவோம் என்று முழங்கிய மகாகவி சுப்பிரமணிய பாரதியார் போன்ற எண்ணற்ற சமூக சிந்தனையாளர்கள் வாழ்ந்த மண் இது. பெண்ணடிமை தனித்தை அடித்து நொறுக்கவும், சாதிய சமூக ஏற்றத்தாழ்வுகளை ஒழிக்க வேண்டும் என்று கங்கணம் பற்றிய செயல்பட்ட தந்தை பெரியார் வாழ்ந்த பெருமைமிகு மண் தமிழ் மண் என்பதை நான் இங்கே நினைவு கூற விரும்புகிறேன். இந்த மாநாடு நடைபெறுகிற மதுரை மாநகருக்கு எண்ணற்ற பெருமைகளெல்லாம் உண்டு. கடந்த கால வரலாற்றிலே மதுரை மாநகர் தமிழகத்தினுடைய பண்பாட்டு 2வது தலைநகராக விளங்குவது மட்டுமல்லாமல் பல வரலாற்று சிறப்புமிக்க நிகழ்வுகளை மையமாக கொண்டிருக்கிற மண் என்கிற பெருமை என்பது உண்டு. சமீபத்திலே வைகை நதிக்கரையில் மேற்கொள்ளப்பட்ட கீழடியின் ஆய்வுகள் சிந்து சமவெளி நாகரிகத்திற்கு முந்திய நகர்ப்புற நாகரிகத்தை கொண்டிருக்கிற மண்ணாக இந்த மண் விளங்கி இருக்கிறது என்கிற வரலாற்று உண்மையை இன்றைக்கு எடுத்து சொல்லியிருக்கிறது. அவைகளையெல்லாம் இங்கே வைத்திருக்கிற கண்காட்சியில் நாங்கள் நிகழ்த்தி பெற்றிருக்கிறோம். செங்கொடி இயக்க வரலாற்றில் தொடர்ந்து மதுரைக்கென ஒரு முத்திரை பதித்த வரலாறு உண்டு. 1952ஆம் ஆண்டு நாட்டிலே நடைபெற்ற முதல் தேர்தலில் தோழர் பி. ராமமூர்த்தி அவர்கள் வேட்புமனு தாக்கல் செய்வதற்கு கூட வெளியே அனுமதிக்க முடியாமல் சிறையிலே அடைக்கப்பட்டிருந்தார். சிறையிலே அடைக்கப்பட்டிருந்த ராமமூர்த்தி அவர்கள் மக்களுடைய ஆதரவோடு சட்டமன்ற தேர்தலிலே வெற்றி பெற்று சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினராக வெளியே விட வேண்டிய கட்டாயத்துக்கு ஏற்பட்ட மண்தான் மதுரை. அதேபோல முதல் தேர்தலில் தமிழகத்திலே கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சி தலைமையிலே அமைந்த மக்கள் முன்னணிதான் மகத்தான வெற்றி பெற்று ஆட்சி அமைக்கிற வாய்ப்பு என்பது அன்றைக்கு ஏற்பட்டிருந்தது. ஆனால் அன்றைக்கு இருந்த காங்கிரஸ் அரசாங்கம் சதி மோசடிகளை செய்து ஆட்சி அதிகாரத்தை தட்டி பறித்த காரணத்தினாலே தோழர் பி. ராமமூர்த்தி எதிர்க்கட்சி தலைவராக தமிழ்நாட்டிலே திகழ்ந்திருந்தார்கள். தமிழ்நாட்டில் இதுவரையில் 5 அகில இந்திய மாநாடுகள் நடத்தியிருக்கிறோம். அதிலே 3 மாநாடுகளை நடத்திய பெருமை மதுரை மாநகருக்கு உண்டு என்பதை இந்த நேரத்தில் நான் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்ள விரும்புகிறேன். இன்னும் சொல்ல போனால் கடந்த பல நூற்றாண்டுகளிலே நாம் கடந்த பாதையை திரும்பி பார்க்கிற போது தமிழகத்திலே செங்கொடி இயக்கம் ஒரு நெருப்பாற்றை நீந்தி எதிர்நீச்சல் போட்ட வரலாறை நம்மாலே பார்க்க முடியும். வெள்ளைய ஏகாதிபத்தியத்தை எதிர்த்து போராடிய காரணத்தினால் கம்யூனிஸ்டுகள் மீது கடுமையான அடக்குமுறை கட்டவிழ்த்து விடப்பட்டது. எண்ணற்ற சதி வழக்குகள் பதிவு செய்யப்பட்டு அவர்கள் சிறையிலே அடைக்கப்பட்ட அப்படிப்பட்ட கொடுமைகளெல்லாம் தாண்டிதான் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் இயக்கம் இந்த மண்ணிலே வீறு கொண்டு எழுந்திருக்கிறது. அதேபோல நடைபெற்ற ஏராளமான போராட்ட பட்டியல்களை நான் சொல்லிக்கொண்டே இருக்க முடியும். நிலப்பிரபுத்துவ கோட்டையாக இருக்கிற கீழத்தஞ்சையில் இருந்த அந்த நிலப்பிரபுத்துவ கோட்டையை எதிர்த்து போராடிய மகத்தான தலைவர் பி. சீனிவாசராவ் தலைமையில் நடந்த போராட்டத்தினுடைய உச்சகட்டமாகத்தான் 68ஆம் ஆண்டு 44 விவசாய தொழிலாளிகள் உயிரோடு ஒரே வீட்டிலே பூட்டி வைத்து கொளுத்தி கொலை செய்யப்பட்ட கொடூரம் இந்த நாட்டிலே நடைபெற்றது. அதைவிட கொடூரம், அப்படி கொலை செய்த அந்த கொடுமையாளர்கள் மீது வழக்கு போட்ட போது இப்படிப்பட்ட பெரியவர்கள் இந்த கொடுமையை செய்திருக்க மாட்டார்கள் என்று சந்தேகத்தின் அடிப்படையிலே நீதிமன்றம் அனைவரையும் விடுதலை செய்ததுதான் இந்த நாட்டினுடைய நீதிமன்றம் யாருக்காக இருக்கிறது என்பதை பட்டியலிட்டு காட்டிய வரலாறாக இருக்கிறது. அந்த வெண்மணி தியாக பூமியிலே விளைந்த கொடியைத்தான் இந்த மாநாட்டினுடைய அரங்கத்திலே நாம் செங்கொடியாக ஏற்றி பட்டொளி வீசி பறக்க விட்டிருக்கிறோம் என்பதை நான் பெருமையோடு இங்கே நினைவில் கூட விரும்புகிறேன். இது சாதிய ஏற்றத்தாழ்வுகள், மனித உரிமைகளை எதிர்த்த போராட்டம், தீண்டாமை கொடுமைகளை எதிர்த்த போராட்டம், சமூக நீதிக்கான போராட்டங்கள் அத்துணையிலேயும் மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சி தமிழகத்திலே மகத்தான பங்கினை ஆற்றி வருகிறது. வாச்சாத்தி என்கிற குக்கிராமத்தில் அந்த ஊரை அந்த கிராமத்தையே தவிடுபொடியாக்கி 18 பெண்களை பாலியல் வல்லுறவுக்கு உள்ளாக்கப்பட்ட அந்த கொடுமையை எதிர்த்து நீண்ட நெடிய சட்ட போராட்டத்தை நடத்தி 250க்கு மேற்பட்ட காவல்துறை, வருவாய்த்துறை, வனத்துறை அதிகாரிகள் குற்றவாளிகள் அனைவருக்கும் தண்டனை வழங்கிய அந்த நீதியை பெற்று தந்திருக்கிற மகத்தான வரலாறு படைத்தது நம்முடைய செங்கொடி இயக்கம் என்பதை நான் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்ள விரும்புகிறேன். 6ஆம் தேதி நடைபெறுகிற நம்முடைய செங்கொடி பேரணியை அந்த வாச்சாத்தியிலே பாதிக்கப்பட்ட பெண்கள் செங்கொடி அசைத்து துவக்கி வைக்க இருக்கிறார் என்பதையும் நான் கேட்டுக்கொள்ள விரும்புகிறேன். இப்படி செங்கொடி வரலாற்றில் எண்ணற்ற தியாகங்களை படைத்திருக்கிற இந்த நிலையில் அவைகளையெல்லாம் ஒட்டுமொத்தமாக தொகுத்துதான் இந்த மாநாடு மிக சிறப்பாக இங்கே நடைபெற நாங்கள் ஏற்பாடு செய்திருக்கிறோம். இன்னும் சொல்ல போனால் மொழி உரிமை, தமிழ்நாடு என்கிற மாநிலத்தை உருவாக்கிய வரலாற்றிலே செங்கொடி இயக்கத்துக்கு முக்கியமான பங்கு உண்டு. மொழி வழி அடிப்படையிலே மாநிலத்தை உருவாக்குவது மட்டுமல்லாமல் உருவாக்கிய மாநிலத்துக்கு தமிழ்நாடு என்று பெயர் சூட்டுகிற அந்த குரலை முதலிலே எழுப்பியது தமிழக சட்டப்பேரவையிலே கம்யூனிஸ்டுகள் என்கிற பெருமை நமக்கு உண்டு. நாடாளுமன்றத்திலே சென்னை மாகாணம் என்கிற பெயரை தமிழ்நாடு என்கிற பெயராக மாற்ற வேண்டும் என்கிற தீர்மானத்தை தோழர் ராமமூர்த்தி அவர்கள் முன்மொழிந்தார்கள். ஆனால் அந்த தீர்மானம் அவையிலே விவாதத்துக்கு எடுத்துக்கொள்கிற போது அவர் அவையிலே இருக்க முடியாத ஒரு இக்கட்டான சூழ்நிலையிலே தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு தமிழ்நாடு என்று பெயர் சூட்ட வேண்டும் என்கிற தீர்மானத்தை மேற்கு வங்காளத்தை சார்ந்த வங்காளியாக இருக்கிற பூபேஷ் குப்தா தான் நாடாளுமன்றத்திலே வலியுறுத்தி வாதம் செய்திருக்கிறார் என்று சொன்னால் செங்கொடி இயக்கத்தினுடைய அவருடைய பண்பு எத்தனை என்பதை புரிந்து கொள்ள முடியும். எனவே இப்படி மொழி அடிப்படையிலே மாநிலம், மொழி உரிமை, எந்த ஒரு மொழியை திணிப்பதையும் ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள மாட்டோம் என்கிற அத்தகைய உரிமைகளை எல்லாம் மகத்தான போராட்டங்களை தொடர்ந்து நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கிற மாநிலம் தமிழ்நாடு. இன்றைய அரசியல் சூழ்நிலையில் பாஜக இந்தியாவை ஆட்டி படைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிற இந்த நேரத்தில் எண்ணற்ற பாசிச குணம் கொண்டிருக்கிற அந்த ஆட்சி இந்தியாவுடைய அரசியல் சாசனத்தை தவிடுபொடியாக்கி ஒரே நாடு ஒரே தேசம், ஒரே நாடு ஒரே மொழி, ஒரே நாடு ஒரே கலாச்சாரம் என்கிற ஒற்றை கலாச்சாரத்தை திணிக்கக்கூடிய அதை எதிர்த்து தொடர்ந்து களம்களை கொண்டிருக்கிற மாநிலமாக தமிழ்நாடு இன்றைக்கு திகழ்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. மத்திய அரசாங்கத்தினுடைய ஒரே நாடு ஒரே தேர்தல், தொகுதி மறுவரை செய்து தென்னகத்துக்கான நாடாளுமன்ற உறுப்பினர்களின் எண்ணிக்கையை குறைப்பது, அதேபோல இந்தி மொழி திணிப்பு, அதேபோல மும்மொழி திட்டம், புதிய கல்வி திட்டம், ஜிஎஸ்டி, மாநில உரிமைகளை பறிப்பது, மாநிலங்களுக்கு வழங்க வேண்டிய நிதியை கொடுக்க மறுப்பது போன்ற எல்லா விதமான மத்திய அரசாங்கத்தினுடைய அந்த தாக்குதல்களை எதிர்த்து தொடர்ந்து வலுவான குரல் எழுப்புவர்களாக தமிழக மக்கள் முத்திரை பதித்து வருகிறார்கள் என்பதை நான் பெருமையோடு நினைவு கூற விரும்புகிறேன். அது மட்டுமல்ல, கடந்த பல ஆண்டுகளாக நடைபெற்றிருக்கிற தேர்தலில் பாஜக எத்தனை வேஷம் போட்டாலும் ஒரு இடத்திலே கூட பாஜக வெற்றி பெற முடியாது, படுதோல்வி அடைய வைத்திருக்கிற மாநிலமாக தமிழ்நாடு திகழ்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது என்பதையும் நான் இங்கே குறிப்பிட்டு காட்ட விரும்புகிறேன். 2014 தேர்தல், 2019 தேர்தல், 2024 தேர்தல்கள் எல்லாவற்றிலேயும் பாஜக படுதோல்வி அடைந்தது. அதனுடைய கூட்டணி கட்சிகள் படுதோல்வி அடைந்திருக்கிறது. 19லேயும் 20லேயும் மதசார்பற்ற முற்போக்கு கூட்டணிகள் பாண்டிச்சேரி உள்ளிட்ட 40க்கு 40 இடங்களையும் பெற்றி இந்தியாவிலே 100% பாஜகவை வீழ்த்திய மாநிலம் தமிழ்நாடு என்கிற பெருமை படைத்திருக்கிறது. இப்படிப்பட்ட தோல்விகளை சகித்துக் கொள்ள முடியாமல் தான் வருகிற 2026 தேர்தலில் எப்படியாவது வெற்றி பெற வேண்டும் என்பதற்காக எல்லாரையும் மிரட்டி ஆட்டி படைத்து கூட்டணியிலே சேர்த்து கொள்ள முயற்சி எடுத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். பிரிந்து சென்ற அதிமுகவை இணைத்து எப்படியாவது தேர்தலிலே வெற்றி பெற வேண்டும் என்று கருதுகிறார்கள். நிச்சயமாக நாம் சொல்லிக்கொள்ள விரும்புகிறோம், அதிமுக பாஜகவோடு கூடு சேருவதற்கான முகாந்திரங்கள் இருப்பதாகத்தான் செய்திகள் வருகிறது. தமிழகத்தை பொறுத்தவரையில், ஏன் இந்தியாவை பொறுத்தவரையில் அடுத்த தேர்தலிலே பாஜக ஒரு மூழ்குகிற கப்பலாகத்தான் இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. 2026 அதிமுக என்கிற கட்சி பாஜகவோடு கூட்டணி சேர்ந்தாலும் மூழ்குகிற கப்பலில் சேர்ந்து அவர்கள் கரை சேர முடியாது. அவர்களோடு சேர்ந்து கடலிலே மூழ்குகிற நிலைமைதான் அவர்களுக்கும் ஏற்படும் என்று சொல்லி கடந்த தேர்தலிலே பாஜகவை முகமில்லாமல் முகவரி இல்லாமல் விரட்டி அடித்த அந்த வரலாற்றை மீண்டும் தமிழகத்திலே எப்போதும் செய்து காட்டுவோம் என்பதை இந்த உறுதியேற்கிற மாநாடாகத்தான் இந்த மாநாடை நாங்கள் நடத்தி காட்டியிருக்கிறோம். மற்றபடி இந்த மாநாட்டை சிறப்பாக நடத்துவதற்கு எங்களாலான எல்லா விதமான முயற்சிகளையும் நாங்கள் மேற்கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். மாநில அளவிலே வரவேற்பு குழுக்கள், மாவட்ட அளவிலே வரவேற்பு குழுக்கள் இன்று பல்லாயிரக்கணக்கான ஊழியர்களை இணைத்து இந்த மகத்தான பணியினை நாங்கள் நடத்தியிருக்கிறோம். கடந்த 6 மாத காலத்தில் ஏராளமான கருத்தரங்கங்கள், பட்டிமன்றங்கள், பிரச்சார இயக்கங்கள், சுவர் விளம்பரங்கள், தெருமுனை கூட்டங்கள் என்கிற அடுக்கடுக்கான பிரச்சார இயக்கத்தை நாங்கள் மேற்கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். கலைக்குழுக்கள், நாடக குழுக்கள் மூலமாகவும் தமிழகத்தினுடைய 8 திசையிலேயும் எங்களுடைய பிரச்சாரத்தை எடுத்து சென்றிருக்கிறோம். எங்களுக்கு பெரிய மகிழ்ச்சி என்னவென்று சொன்னால், மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சி தமிழகத்திலே ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய வாக்கு வங்கி படைத்திருக்கிற கட்சி என்று சொல்லாவிட்டாலும் கூட நாங்கள் இந்த நேரத்தில் தமிழகத்தினுடைய வீடு வீடாக சென்று நிதி வசூலுக்கு சென்றபோது நாங்கள் சென்ற இடங்களெல்லாம் மக்கள் தாராளமாக நிதியை வாரி வழங்கியிருக்கிறார்கள். நாங்கள் அணுகியதில் 98% மக்கள் எங்களுக்கு இன்முகத்தோடு நிதியை வழங்கி இந்த மாநாட்டை வெற்றி பெறுவதற்கு உதவி செய்திருக்கிறார்கள். சொல்லப்போனால் நிதியளித்தவர்கள் எல்லாரும் நம்முடைய ஆதரவாளர்கள் என்று சொல்ல முடியாது, நமக்கு நேசம் நம்முடைய உறுப்பினர்கள் என்று சொல்ல முடியாது. பல்வேறு அரசியல் கட்சியிலே இருக்கிற உழைப்பாளி மக்கள் கூட மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கட்சி என்று சொல்லுகிற போது அவர்கள் மன வாஞ்சையோடு நிதியளித்திருக்கிற அந்த பெருமையை எட்டி பார்க்கிற போது நிச்சயமாக பல்வேறு அரசியல் கட்சிகள், அரசியல் சார்பற்ற மக்கள் மத்தியிலே கூட மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சி அவருடைய இதயத்திலே ஒரு நிரந்தரமான இடத்தை பிடித்திருக்கிறது என்பதை எங்களால் அடையாளம் காண முடிகிறது. எங்களையெல்லாம் நெகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிற பல சம்பவங்கள் இருந்தாலும் குறிப்பாக சொல்ல வேண்டும் என்று சொன்னால், பச்சிளம் 8வது 10வது படிக்கிற பிள்ளைகள் தங்களுடைய பெற்றோர்கள் கொடுத்திருக்கிற ₹1, ₹2 என்கிற அன்றாட செலவுகளை சேர்த்து வைத்து அவர்களுக்கு வேண்டிய பொருட்களை வாங்கிக் கொள்வதற்காக அந்த சேர்த்த பணத்தை அவர்கள் மனமு வந்து மேடைகளிலே மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சியினுடைய பணிக்காக நாங்கள் இதை ஒப்படைக்கிறோம் என்று அவர்கள் 1000 2000 ரூபாயை அள்ளி கொடுக்கிற நிகழ்ச்சி எங்களை மிகவும் நெகிழ்ச்சியடை செய்திருக்கிறது என்பதை நான் பெருமையோடு சொல்லி காட்ட விரும்புகிறேன். எனவே மக்களுடைய இதயங்களிலே இடம்பெற்றிருக்கிற அந்த மகத்தான ஆதரவை அமைப்பு ரீதியாக வலுப்படுத்துவதற்கு அடுத்த கட்ட நடவடிக்கைகள் தான் நம்முடைய முக்கியமான கடமை என்கிற அடிப்படையிலே தான் இந்த மாநாட்டை வெற்றிகரமாக நடத்துவதற்கு நாங்கள் பணியாற்றியிருக்கிறோம் என்பதை இந்த நேரத்திலே தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு, இன்னும் சொல்ல போனால் இந்த மாநாடு எல்லா விதமான ஏற்பாடுகளையும் செய்தாலும் கூட வந்திருக்கிற பிரதிநிதிகளுக்கு 5 நாட்கள் 6 நாட்கள் அவர்கள் தங்குவதற்கான ஏற்பாடுகள் செய்வது, இந்த மாநாட்டிலே முதன்முறையாக சைமல்ட் ஏக காலத்திலே மொழிபெயர்க்கிற அந்த தொழில்நுட்பத்தை உட்பட பயன்படுத்தி இந்த மாநாட்டு ஏற்பாடுகளை நாங்கள் செய்திருக்கிறோம். எல்லா ஏற்பாடுகளையும் நாங்கள் செய்தாலும் எங்களையும் மீறி உங்களுடைய தேவைகளை முழுமையாக பூர்த்தி செய்வதிலே சில குறைகள், சில பற்றாக்குறைகள் ஏற்படும் என்று சொன்னால் அதையெல்லாம் நீங்கள் பொறுத்தருள வேண்டும் என இந்த நேரத்திலே உங்களை கேட்டுக்கொண்டு, நிச்சயமாக இந்த மாநாடு நடத்துவதன் மூலம் தமிழ்நாட்டிலே மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சி ஒரு வலுமிக்க இயக்கமாக மாற்றுவதற்கான அந்த உறுதியை நாங்கள் ஏற்றுக்கொள்கிறோம். இது வெறும் கூடி கலைகிற மாநாடாக இருக்காது. நாளைய தினம் மாநில உரிமைகளை பாதுகாக்கிற கருத்தரங்கம் இங்கே நடைபெற இருக்கிறது. தமிழக முதலமைச்சர் கலந்து கொள்கிறார்கள், கேரள முதலமைச்சர் கலந்து கொள்கிறார், நம்முடைய கர்நாடகத்தினுடைய அமைச்சர் சுதாகர் கலந்து கொள்கிறார், நம்முடைய ஒருங்கிணைப்பாளர் தோழர் பிரகாஷ் அவர்களும் கலந்து கொள்கிறார்கள். 6ஆம் தேதி 5 லட்சம் மக்கள் மதுரை மாநகரை குலுங்க செய்யக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு 25,000 செந்தொண்டர் பேரணியோடு மகத்தான ஒரு வெற்றி விழா, மகத்தான அந்த பேரணி நடைபெற இருக்கிறது. எனவே இந்த மாநாடு கூடி கலைகிற மாநாடாக இருக்காது. தமிழகத்தினுடைய அரசியல் முகத்தோற்றத்தை மாற்றுகிற ஒரு இடதுசாரி மாற்றத்தை உருவாக்குகிற, மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சி ஒரு பலமான மாற்று இயக்கம் என்கிற அந்த மாற்றத்தை உருவாக்குகிற திருப்புமுனை மாநாடாக இந்த மாநாடு அமையும் என்று இந்த நேரத்திலே சொல்லி, மீண்டும் உங்கள் எல்லாரையும் மாநாட்டுக்கு வருக என வரவேற்று அமைகிறேன். லாங் இன்குலாப் ஜிந்தாபாத், லாங் லீவ் சிபிஐஎம், லாங் லீவ் 24th Congress of the party. With these words, I conclude my welcome address, thanking you all.
Comrade Prakash Karat, Coordinator of the Politburo of the Communist Party of India, Marxist. Comrade K. Balakrishnan, Chairman of the Reception Committee, constituted for the 21st Congress being held at Madurai. Leaders of the left parties on the dais, respected elders, mothers and sisters, brothers, delegates, distinguished guests and friends. Bhanakkam, Namaskar. We are assembled here in Madurai for the 24th Congress of the Communist Party of India, Marxist. Madurai has a rich history as an ancient city and a seat of Tamil culture. Madurai is also a center with a vibrant tradition of the communist and working class movement. Many stalwarts of the communist movement hail from here or worked in this city. P. Ramamurthy and N. Shankaraya are two prominent such names. I welcome Comrade D. Raja, General Secretary of CPI, Comrade Dipankar Bhattacharya, General Secretary of CPI-ML Liberation, Comrade Manoj Bhattacharya, General Secretary of RSP, and Comrade G. Devarajan, General Secretary of AIFB, who are attending this inaugural session. Their presence augurs well for the strengthening of left unity in the country. I should mention, I had the privilege to attend the 9th Congress of the CPIM held in Madurai in 1972 as a delegate. I would also like to mention that was the first Congress for me to attend as a delegate. So it's a very historical thing for me. On this occasion, I extend my warm revolutionary greetings to the lakhs of party members, supporters, and left sympathizers of the country as a whole, and in particular of Madurai and Tamil Nadu. The 24th Congress of the CPIM is taking place at a time when American imperialism is becoming more assertive after Donald Trump took over the presidency. From the very first day of his second term, the Trump has been moving in the specific direction to create problem for the world as a whole and trying to suppress them according to their wish for the greater interest of the American imperialism. Therefore, the coming days will see tumultuous developments, and we must be prepared to step up our anti-imperialist campaigns and struggles. 11 years have elapsed under the Modi government. It has seen the consolidation of the Hindutva authoritarian regime. At no time has the axis between big corporates and the RSS BJP been so strong and blatant. The result has been subversion of democracy, secularism, and federalism. For the vast mass of the country and the common people of the society, it spells suffering from unemployment, rising prices, agrarian distress, and of course, corruption. Minorities are being systematically persecuted and reduced to second-class citizens of India. The resistance to the Hindutva corporate regime has been going on. Every action of the working people are coming out to defend their rights. In this connection, I salute the workers of the Samsung India factory who conducted a successful 38-day strike in Kanchipuram, braving all sorts of odds and repression. The 24th Congress will discuss and show the way for uniting all secular and democratic forces to fight, isolate, and defeat the BJP and, of course, RSS. It will discuss how to widen and intensify the struggles of the working class, peasantry, urban and rural poor, and champion the rights of the Dalits, Adivasis, women, and of course, minorities. The Party Congress has on its agenda how to enhance the independent strength of the party by expanding the political, ideological, and organizational activities, waging the multifaceted struggles against Hindutva ideology and communal forces has to take center stage. A strong party organization is required to implement the political line of the mobilizing the millions of working people and the youth. The party must have its organization at the workplace and the residential areas too. An organization capable of connecting with the people and launching struggles of the working people of our country. Let the 24th Congress be a landmark in the ongoing struggle to defeat the forces of reaction and to go forward building a left and democratic alternatives. With these few words, I would like to conclude. Thank you all. Now, I would request Comrade Prakash Korat, Coordinator of the Politburo of the Communist Party of India Marxist, to deliver his speech.
மார்க்சிஸ்ட் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கட்சியோட 24ஆம் மகாநாடில் வந்த எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம், வாழ்த்துக்கள். The president of this session, Comrade Manik Sarkar, chairman of the reception committee, Comrade K. Balakrishnan, Comrade D. Raja, General Secretary of the Communist Party of India, Comrade Dipankar Bhattacharya, General Secretary of the CPI-ML Liberation, Comrade Manoj Bhattacharya, General Secretary of the Revolutionary Socialist Party, Comrade G. Devarajan, General Secretary of the All India Forward Bloc, dear delegates, distinguished guests and friends, I convey my warm greetings to all those who have gathered here on the inaugural session of the 24th Congress of the Communist Party of India Marxist. The Party Congress is the most important and supreme forum for the Communist Party. It is therefore appropriate that we are holding this Congress in Madurai, a city redolent with the ethos of ancient Tamil literature and culture, and which harmoniously combines the history of our 8 decades of the working class and communist movement. On this occasion, we remember the outstanding leaders of the communist movement, P. Ramamurthy, K.T.K. Thangamani, N. Shankaraya, and K.P. Janaki Ammal. All of them made distinctive contributions to the development of the Communist Party in Madurai and Tamil Nadu. Madurai has produced many communist parliamentarians and legislatures. To the Lok Sabha, it has elected communist members of parliament 6 times. K.T.K. Thangamani in 1957, P. Ramamurthy in 1967, P. Mohan in 1999 and 2004, and the current incumbent Su Venkatesan 2019 and 2024. Since the formation of the communist unit in Madurai in 1940, generations of communists have worked among the workers, peasants, and agricultural workers to build the party and the movement. We remember their contributions of all these communist men and women. I salute the memory of our martyr, Comrade Leelavati, a municipal councillor of the party in the city, who was killed by local criminal elements in 1997 for defending the people's interests. There are other innumerable martyrs produced in Madurai who sacrificed their lives in the cause of the working class. But there are so many, but I cannot name them all. There are, on the dais, 5 comrades who attended the 9th Congress of the CPIM held in Madurai in this very grounds, Tamugam grounds, 53 years ago. They are Comrade S. Ramachandran Pillai, Comrade Pinarayi Vijayan, Comrade Biman Basu, Comrade Manik Sarkar, and Comrade N. Ram. All of them are on the dais who attended the 9th Congress as delegates. This party congress is being held at a poignant moment for us. The General Secretary of the party, Comrade Sitaram Yechuri, under whose leadership the preparations for the party congress began, is no more with us. Faced with the unexpected situation, the Politburo and the Central Committee have worked collectively and unitedly to fulfill all the work for the holding of the 24th Congress. We shall forever cherish Comrade Sitaram's distinctive contributions to the theory and practice of Marxism. Comrades and friends, the main job of the party congress is to formulate a political tactical line which will set the direction for the party's political work. For this, it is necessary to have an accurate grasp of the essence of the political situation today, the class nature of the government and the ruling party, and the balance of class forces that exist. This exercise at times can be a complex one. However, at the present moment, it is relatively simple. Just ask 3 questions. Firstly, who claims to be the friend of Donald Trump? Second, who is the close friend of Gautam Adani and Mukesh Ambani? And third, who owes total loyalty to the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh? The answer to all these 3 questions is the same: Narendra Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government represent the Hindutva corporate nexus that is closely allied to US imperialism. It is the BJP, RSS and the Hindutva corporate nexus underpinning it that needs to be fought and defeated. From coming to such an easy conclusion, a more complex question arises of how to fight the BJP, RSS combined effectively so as to isolate them and reverse the rightward shift. As Marxists, we know that no political domination that is exercised today by the Hindutva forces is through electoral means alone. This is a dominance acquired through the influence of the Hindutva forces that they exercise in the ideological, cultural, and social spheres. This is a dominance enforced through authoritarian attacks on democracy and the Constitution. The political tactical line that we adopt in this Congress should take into account the waging of a multifaceted struggle against the BJP, RSS and the Hindutva forces. The party and the left have been conducting many struggles in defense of the people's livelihood and against the onslaughts of the neoliberal policies. But the masses who have mobilized in these struggles will be politicized only if there is a vigorous campaign amongst them against the reactionary and divisive Hindutva communalism. What is called for is the integration of the struggle against Hindutva communalism and the struggle against neoliberal policies. At this juncture, when we strive for the broadest mobilization of all secular forces against the BJP, it must be borne in mind that it is the left alone which is the consistent force which can firmly and uncompromisingly fight all manifestations of Hindutva and majoritarian communalism precisely because of our uncompromising stand on neoliberal policies. The Modi government in its third term is going ahead with the RSS-driven Hindutva agenda, aggressive neoliberal policy process. It is displaying neo-fascist characteristics. Implementing the fascistic agenda of the RSS entails the constant targeting of the Muslim minority. They are marked for persecution through communal violence perpetrated by the Hindutva outfits, aided and abetted by the state machinery in the BJP-ruled states. This state of perennial violence and intimidation directed against the Muslim community is part of the drive to create a permanent communal divide and to effect a pan-Hindutva consolidation. The Modi government has become a byword for crony capitalism. It seeks to privatize new sectors and provide new areas for profit maximization for the big monopolies. As a result, we are seeing unprecedented inequality, with the top 1% of the population owning 40% of the total wealth of the country. There are high levels of unemployment, particularly among youth, increased exploitation of labor through contractualization and informalization, and the fall in the share of wages in the net value added in the industrial sector. The condition of farmers and agricultural workers have also worsened due to the worsening agrarian crisis. The coming period will see an intensification of the class and mass struggles of the working people, and we must be prepared to give a political direction to these struggles. The government is going ahead with the implementation of the 4 labor codes which curtail the rights of workers. These anti-working class laws have to be fought. The central trade unions have given a call for a one-day strike on May 20th, demanding the withdrawal of these 4 labor codes. The left parties and all other class and mass organizations will work to make this strike a resounding success. The fact that the BJP lost its majority in the Lok Sabha and that the NDA does not command a 2/3 majority in either House of Parliament has not stopped the Modi government's authoritarian efforts to reshape the Indian state and the Constitution. The Constitutional Amendment Bill to bring about simultaneous elections to the Lok Sabha and the legislative assemblies is a direct assault on federalism and states' rights. The steps to curtail Parliament, weaken the higher judiciary, and erode the independent status of the Election Commission are still ongoing. Draconian laws like the UAPA and the PMLA are being used against opposition leaders. For the first time in independent India, 2 elected chief ministers were put in jail on so-called corruption charges. The authoritarian centralization drive trampling upon the federal principle and are trampling upon the federal principle and the rights of the states. There is blatant discrimination in the BJP state governments. The BJP RSS combine manipulates subcaste identities to maintain the caste system as the basic framework of social relations in India. The Manuvadi values are being insidiously infiltrated into the social and cultural spheres. The fight against the Manuvadi patriarchal system, which attacks the rights of women, Dalits and Adivasis, are an integral part of the struggle against the Hindutva forces. The party Congress will be addressing the prime issue of how to increase the independent strength of the CPIM. Taken the country as a whole, there has to be a planned effort to launch local struggles on class and mass issues, build the party at the grassroots, and streamline the functioning of the party organization. The LDF government in Kerala has been in the forefront in opposing the anti-people policies of the central government. Because the LDF government has sought to implement alternative policies, it is facing hostility and discrimination by the union government. The ongoing struggle in defense of federalism and states' rights by the LDF and the people of Kerala is an important part of the All India fight in defense of federalism and against authoritarianism. Comrades and friends, the Trump presidency signals a new chapter in the saga of US imperialism. Here is a more naked form of imperialist aggrandizement, territorial annexation, and squeezing the resources of even close allies is the norm. Trump is supporting Netanyahu's plan to obliterate the Palestinians from Gaza. Trump is taking aggressive steps against many countries of the global south. Despite all these, Prime Minister Modi remains supine and proclaims his fealty to Trump. The repercussions for our country are going to be severe. The Modi government is already surrendering India's vital interests on tariffs, on purchase of energy supplies and military equipment. A new front is opening up against the Modi regime and its close embrace of America. The CPIM and the left will be in the forefront against any compromising of India's sovereign interests. We must go forth and rouse the people against imperialist depredations and the servile attitude of the BJP rulers. US imperialism under Trump will launch new attacks, trade wars, political and military interventions on countries around the world. This is the time for the CPIM and the left to actively develop anti-imperialist struggles and expose the pro-imperialist policies of the Modi government. Comrades, from this platform of the Congress, we express our full support and total solidarity with the Palestinian people who are facing a genocide in Gaza for the past 17 months perpetrated by the brutal Zionist regime in Israel. That attack on Gaza and the killing of ordinary men, women, and children is still ongoing there in Gaza. We condemn the shameful betrayal of the Palestinian cause by the Modi government and its blind support to Israel. We also greet the heroic people of Cuba and the Cuban government who have been valiantly opposing the inhuman economic blockade, which is now being further tightened by Trump, which has been imposed for more than 6 decades. We will always stand in support with socialist Cuba. Comrades and friends, this is the time to strengthen left unity and expand left intervention. The left is the only consistent force against neoliberal capitalism and who firmly defend the interests of the working people. It is the left which has the ideological wherewithal and convictions to fight and counter Hindutva neo-fascism. It is only the left which can lead the fight against the imperialist designs on our country. The CPIM will work with all left forces to go forward towards the building of a left and democratic alternative. The CPIM will also renew its commitment to join hands with all secular and democratic forces to forge the broadest unity so that the struggle against the BJP RSS can be successfully concluded. From Madurai, let this call go out loud and clear. All left democratic and secular forces should unite to push back the dark forces of reaction. Let us work together to build a new India on secular, democratic, and progressive lines towards people's democracy and socialism. Thank you.
Now, I would request Comrade D. Raja, General Secretary of CPI, to address this inaugural session of the 24th Party Congress of Communist Party of India Marxist.
Respected President, Comrade Manik Sarkar, respected leaders of CPIM and other left parties on the dais, respected comrades, on behalf of the Communist Party of India, I extend our revolutionary greetings to all of you. Lal Salam, comrades. Comrades, I would like to warmly acknowledge the CPIM for holding this important party congress in Madurai. Madurai, a city where in the past the undivided Communist Party of India held one of its decisive congresses, drawing strength from the militant tradition of Tamil Nadu. The militant tradition of the working people, the peasantry, the socially oppressed sections of Tamil Nadu. Today, we stand in the land of Tamil Nadu were the comrades who laid their lives not only for freedom from colonial rule, but also for freedom from feudalism, caste tyranny, and exploitation. That is the land of Tamil Nadu. Comrades, the world capitalist system is engulfed in a deep, chronic crisis. The neoliberal offensive has neither brought prosperity nor stability to the vast majority in the world. Inequality is obscene in a global scale. The combined wealth of a handful of billionaires exceeds the combined wealth of nation states across the world. The World Bank and IMF, the World Bank, IMF continue to push the very policies that have brought misery to workers and peasants across the countries. As Karl Marx correctly observed, capital comes dripping from head to toe, from every pore with blood and dirt. That's what Karl Marx said. We are also witnessing the sharpening of inter-imperialist contradictions. NATO's provocative expansion and the war in Ukraine have deepened global instability, with working people paying the price in blood. The genocide in Gaza, backed by imperialist powers, has exposed the hypocrisy of Western regimes that preach human rights. They preach human rights, but this is what they do in Gaza, while aiding, abetting war crimes. Lenin, I quote Lenin, had forewarned all of us, imperialism is war. Imperialism is war. Today, the character of imperialism is naked to all of us to see. Comrades, alongside this, the climate crisis, driven by capitalist plunder of nature, threatens the very survival of humanity. Yet, the ruling masses are busy building fortresses for the rich, leaving the masses to perish. Adding fuel to the fire, the rise and consolidation of the obscurantist international right-wing forces serve only to divide, confuse, and to immobilize the working people from their primary task, their real task of overthrowing the system of exploitation. That is their primary task. Comrades, coming to national situation, India, it It is our own land that cries out most urgently for revolutionary intervention. Centuries back, in this very land of Tamil Nadu, Thiruvalluvar said, பிறப்புக்கும் எல்லா உயிர்க்கும் பிறப்புக்கும் எல்லா உயிர்க்கும் all are equal by birth. Contrary to this universal and timeless assertion, we see that inequality is systematic in India. In its structural and evolving system of exploitation and discrimination that we have to fight. Comrades, India today stands at a breaking point. The structural oppressions of class, caste and patriarchy have become brutal under BJP RSS regime, which is nothing but political tool of the most reactionary sections of bourgeoisie and landlords. Comrades, let us speak plainly. India is not merely suffering from bad governance. India is suffocating under system designed to exploit. The gap between the rich and poor has never been this shameful level. The top 1% of the country now owns more than 40% of the national wealth, while half of the population struggles for just 2 meals in a day. Comrades, the history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles. History of class struggles, wrote Karl Marx and Engels. In India, this class struggle is intertuned with caste system, the oldest and most vicious system of social oppression. Caste and mass oppression are not parallel, they are fused. Land ownership patterns, wage structures, access to education, and even basic human dignity are still denied to Dalits, Adivasis, and the most marginalized sections. Dr. Ambedkar had warned, caste is not merely a division of labor. It is division of laborers. This is what Dr. Ambedkar warned. Caste is not a division of labor. It is division of laborers. Today, the ruling classes, while parading in the garb of nationalism, they are trying to perpetuate the caste system. Patriarchy, another issue. Two, thriving under the regime. Violence against women, our women. Violence against women. Discrimination and denial of autonomy are institutionalized. The ruling classes are only too happy to use patriarchy. You know what is patriarchy? To divide and dictate the working people. Comrades, unemployment is pushing the youth to hopelessness. Our youth do not see any bright, certain future. It is pushing our youth to hopelessness. Agrarian distress is driving our farmers to commit suicide. The public education and health sectors are being systematically destroyed. The working people's rights to organize, to dissent, to dream are under relentless attack. Trade unions are demonized. Universities are turned into RSS laboratories. Journalism, media people are sitting. Journalism is criminalized. The secular democratic fabric of the Indian Republic is being torn apart, thread by thread. Above all, comrades, the RSS BJP combine is openly targeting the very constitution of India. It is seeking to dismantle the fundamental pillars: socialism, secularism, federalism, and social justice. Their assault on our republic is systematic and ideological. RSS as an organization follows deeply the divisive, communal, and fascist ideology. It is inspired from Mussolini and Hitler and follows their organizational principles. BJP is the political arm, political wing of RSS, and among with several other organizations known as Sangh Parivar. The Sangh Parivar shares a fascist contempt for democracy. Sangh Parivar, they share the fascist contempt for democracy and believes in making representative institutions like the parliament redundant. Parliament is becoming increasingly redundant. Corporate ruled India, where majoritarianism and caste capital will dominate without restraint. This is in India in which we are living. Bhagat Singh had said, revolution is inalienable right. It is our inalienable right of mankind. Freedom is an imperishable birthright. Freedom is imperishable birthright. He raised this slogan fighting the British Raj. He was fighting the British Raj. The time has come to follow his words and reclaim our freedom from RSS BJP Raj. That is the challenge we face today. If we go by what Bhagat Singh has said, the task before communists. Comrades, the present situation demands that we as communists rise to the occasion. All communists and left forces must forge principled unity to mount a decisive resistance against corporate communal assault. We must be the voice of the voiceless. We must be the organizers of the unorganized. We must be the hope of hopeless. Comrades, we must lead the struggles on the streets, in factories, in villages, in universities, not only against economic exploitation, but against the deep-rooted structures of deep-rooted structures of caste and patriarchy. We must make sure that the slogans of Jai Bhim, Lal Salam, you understand, Jai Bhim, Lal Salam and Inqulab Zindabad are not mere words but rallying cries for a transformative movement. This is not a choice anymore. Comrades, it is our revolutionary duty. It is not a choice, it is a revolutionary duty and task before us. Comrades, the defense of public education, public health, employment, food security, and social security must be placed at the head of our program. These are not welfare demands. These are not just welfare demands. They are instruments of social justice and human dignity. Importantly, we must also wage a battle for scientific temper as enshrined in our constitution, whose prime architect was Dr. Ambedkar. The communist government must boldly take up the challenges of using science and technology, including digital tools and artificial intelligence in our time. In the service of the people, we must fight for universal access to knowledge. Our people should have universal access to knowledge, technological equality, and against the commodification of science. It was Lenin, I quote Lenin, after all, who told us communism is Soviet power plus electricity. It must be communist strength plus democratized technology in our time. Communist strength and democratized technology. What is the road ahead, comrades? Comrades, the time is not for hesitation, but for action. Time is for action, not for hesitation or moving away from the mainstream battle. The time is not for hesitation, but for action. The situation is grave, but it is also pregnant with possibilities. As Marxists, as communists, we understand that the greatest crisis open up greatest opportunities, possibilities, provided we are ready to lead by example. Let us intensify mass struggles. Let us mobilize the workers, peasants, youth, women, Dalits, Adivasis, minorities, all who are oppressed under red banner. Let us confront not only the RSS BJP, but the very system that breeds exploitation, inequality, and injustice. So, comrades, we must reinstall Marxism Leninism at the center of political discourse, proving through practice that it alone provides the key to liberation. Lenin reminded us, without a revolutionary theory, there cannot be a revolutionary movement. But this theory must walk on the feet of millions of toiling people across our country. So, friends, comrades, the people are ready to rise. Let us be worthy of their trust. We as communists should be worthy of their trust. Let us hold high the red flag, the symbol of hope, the symbol of the future. The only path forward is to unite and fight. Unite and fight. I wish this party congress of CPM a big success. Lal Salam, comrades. Inqulab Zindabad. Let us unite and fight. Let us move forward and liberate our country from the BJP Raj. Thank you very much.
I would invite Comrade Dipankar Bhattacharya, General Secretary, CPIML, Liberation, to address this gathering.
Comrade Manik Sarkar, President of the inaugural session to the 24th Congress of the CPIM, Comrade Prakash Karat and other members of the central leadership of the CPIM, Comrade D. Raja, Comrade Manoj Bhattacharya, Comrade G. Devarajan, veterans of the communist movement and delegates to the 24th Congress, progressive citizens from Madurai and from other parts of Tamil Nadu. Vanakkam and a very good morning to you all. On behalf of the Communist Party of India, Marxist-Leninist, the party Central Committee and its entire membership, I stand here to express our warm revolutionary greetings to the 24th Congress of the CPIM. In today's gathering, we all are missing Comrade Sitaram a lot. Comrade Sitaram was not just a leader of the CPIM for decades. As a public speaker, as a writer, as a parliamentarian, since the late 1980s, I can remember Comrade Sitaram as a very consistent fighter against the fascist project of the RSS, especially since December 6, 1992, and all the more so since 2014 with the onset of the Modi-Shah Yogi era. He was not only warning us against the escalating fascist offensive in the country, but he was always trying to seek common grounds to forge the broadest possible unity against this fascist offensive. I pay my heartfelt homage to Comrade Sitaram and all departed stalwarts of the CPIM and the Indian Communist Movement. Comrades, we all realize that in last year's Lok Sabha elections, in spite of the continuing assault on the Constitution, in spite of the relentless subversion of the institutions, and in spite of subversion of the election process itself, India, I mean the country as well as the India electoral bloc, we managed to deliver a few powerful blows to the BJP in 2024 Lok Sabha elections. The country denied the BJP its independent majority. But yet, the Modi government has survived. The government is back in power for the third successive term, and we can feel that the fascist offensive is escalating with every passing day. The government is out to crush democracy and destroy every semblance of secularism and federalism in our republic. So in this 75th year of the adoption of the Constitution and the foundation of the republic, we must therefore, we the people of India, must therefore resolve to unite ever more closely and fight with ever greater courage, strength and determination this fascist offensive. We in the left camp are of course united on a whole range of issues, and we are together in a whole range of battles. We are together in the battle against the attempted corporate takeover of agriculture. We are together in the fight against privatization and the draconian labor codes. We are together in the fight against the new education policy, which threatens to take education away from the reach of the poor, of the deprived sections of the people, and to regiment India's campuses and curricula in a way to suit the Hindutva agenda and to stifle every voice of dissent and opposition. But today I would like to briefly draw your attention to certain other issues which I think deserve our urgent attention. Amit Shah has set a deadline by March 2026 to make India Naxal free. As we assemble here in Madurai, perhaps we will get to know that there is an encounter going on, a fake encounter going on somewhere in Chhattisgarh. They call it Operation Kagar, the final mission. And this is already, there are figures of several hundred Adivasis, including perhaps more than 100 women who have been killed in this Operation Kagar since December 2023, when the BJP returned to power in Chhattisgarh. And I did not tell you that this is bound to be replicated across India, everywhere. This is a savage war on India's indigenous people, Adivasis, on our resources for corporate plunder. This is an ideological witch hunt, which is not just against Maoism or Naxalism, which is bound to attack every ideological stream and every stream of political opposition in the country, which dares to question and oppose the fascist forces in power. So this is why I think we must call for, fight for an immediate halt to this reign of extrajudicial violence, killing, and ideological witch hunt. and call for immediate release of all our activists who are languishing in jail in fabricated cases, whether the Delhi riots or Bhima Koregaon or any other fake case in any part of the country. We must demand immediate release of all our prisoners of conscience, political activists who are languishing in jail. Islamophobia. It has become an undeclared core principle of governance in India today. The state continues to target the Muslim community in the name of Uniform Civil Code or in the name of Waqf regulation. The bill probably is going to be placed today in Parliament. So while the state continues to target by invoking various measures of uniformity, the state-sponsored private militias and mobs, they are targeting mosques, they are targeting tombs, they are targeting every sign of Muslim cultural identity or historical presence in this country. And this is going on. It started as mob lynching. Now it has taken the form of bulldozer Raj, where the state itself is organizing and celebrating this reign of anti-Muslim violence. We can see in Uttarakhand, where we see the first model of the Uniform Civil Code, that this is not just about targeting a particular community in the name of uniformity. It is a blow to the very idea of interfaith and intercaste marriages, and it challenges, it negates every constitutional freedom in this country for consenting adults to enter into live-in relationships. So this battle for secularism today cannot be just about a wish for communal harmony. We have to be ready to confront the state and combat this vicious Islamophobia at work in the state. The propaganda machinery of the Modi regime and the Sangh BJP brigade, they had built up a myth around the so-called enhanced international stature of India under the leadership of Narendra Modi. Now, recent developments have shattered this myth completely. We can see the government of India now shamelessly capitulating to the Trump presidency, be it the question of the humiliating manner of deportation of Indian citizens or the tariff threat that has grave implications for our trade, for our domestic economy, especially agriculture and the manufacturing sector. No previous government in India has hurt India's national pride and national interests as badly, as shamelessly as the current dispensation is doing. Now, this Modi government's capitulation to the Trump-Musk dispensation, it goes hand in hand with its all-out support to the Netanyahu regime, even as it goes on waging a genocidal campaign against Palestinians in Gaza and now increasingly in the West Bank. Now, these are not just foreign policy concerns for us. India's global image is very much linked to our internal identity. 75 years ago, when the Constitution was adopted and the Constitution proclaimed India as a sovereign, democratic, socialist, secular republic, it was made possible by the freedom movement, which had given shape to a kind of nationalism which was essentially secular in character and anti-imperialist in its content. And today, fascism seeks to redefine this nationalism in terms of Hindu supremacist majoritarianism, which is subordinated to a corporate oligarchy under this India's new billionaire Raj, where Adani's interest becomes India's interest and any expression of dissent becomes anti-national. The challenge facing us today is to win this battle of nationalism by upholding India's culturally diverse and harmonious character and keeping the interests of the people at the center. With the fascist aggression escalating by the day, the need for urgent resistance cannot be overemphasized. We are now in the centenary year of the Communist Party of India. And incidentally, this also happens to be the centenary of the RSS. All through India's freedom movement and the subsequent decades of parliamentary democracy in independent India, the communist ideology has fought relentlessly against the fascist design of the RSS. For large parts of these 100 years, the RSS remained quite isolated. But today, as it operates from the vantage position of state power, it is doing everything it can to embed and entrench itself firmly in every domain of the state and every sphere of the society. The electoral strength of India's communists has, of course, suffered some major setbacks in recent decades. But we must not let that weaken the communist resistance to the fascist threat. With closer unity and cooperation in all spheres of collective action, today's generation of inheritors of India's rich and glorious communist legacy can surely turn the tables on the fascist forces. Despite all our historical differences, we in the CPIML believe and look forward to working together with the CPIM and other sections of the communist movement in India more closely than ever before in a spirit of warm cooperation and comradely understanding to fulfill the collective aspirations of the people and meet the challenges of the day. I wish the 24th Congress of the CPIM every success in this critical phase of India's progressive democratic movement. We are in an unprecedented situation. There is no phase in the past history of independent India which even remotely resembles the kind of threat that we are facing today to the basics of India's constitution, to the basics of India, to the basics of any modern civilized democratic country. So this is why I wish you every success. Thank you all for inviting me to this Congress and giving me your precious time. Inqilab Zindabad, long live left unity.
Extending our thanks to Comrade Dipankar Bhattacharya for his speech. Now, I would invite Comrade Manoj Bhattacharya, the General Secretary of the RSP, to address this inaugural session.
Respected Comrade President, respected leaders sitting over the dais, the respected leaders of the CPI, CPI-ML Liberation, Forward Bloc, and all respected delegates and friends. Comrades, at the outset, I shall, on behalf of the Revolutionary Socialist Party, extend our warmest greetings to all of you, all the delegates who have come from far-flung areas. And also wish your 24th Congress a grand success to design the newer path of development, the newer ways and means to combat the present situation or the emerging situation, whatever is coming. Comrades, I am sure that you all will agree and permit me in saying that we are going through a trying time, very, very difficult time. I recall Charles Dickens When you say it in the Tale of Two Cities, it's a worst time, it is the best time. Worst time because internationally, Gaza is being ravaged on the spacious plea of exterminating the Hamas. What the informed sources say was the creation of Israel's secret agency in the name Mossad. And now in the name of exterminating Hamas, that is indiscriminately killing the humanity. Nearly 60,000 of people, most of whom are women, children, old, infirm, and common unarmed people, have been killed, summarily exterminated. And a huge number of people, they have been destituted. How many lakhs, I do not know. Nobody can say. And it started some 27th of October 2023, and it's continuing till now. The conscience of the international community is not responding the way it should. I'm sorry, I'm not going to name any nation. And we are perturbed, we are disturbed, we are dismayed, we are disgruntled. Now, if I draw a parallel, in India, only a few days back, the infamous Home Minister of India, Mr. Amit Shah, told that by 1926, we shall exterminate the Maoists. One is exterminating the Hamas and killing the common people, and another is trying to exterminate Maoists and killing the common people. In Gaza, their people are being evicted only to pay way for Mr. Donald Trump, the neo-fascist ruler of the United States of America, to develop his real estate there on the bank of the Mediterranean Sea, a land of 41 kilometers and 12 kilometers. And in India, in Gadchiroli, in Bastar, in Sukma, almost in entire Chhattisgarh, in the name of exterminating the Maoists, the village people are being exterminated. The village people are being killed. I know, I'm certain that, I know it very well, that I am also running the risk of being termed as urban Naxal. I don't mind. But there is a parallel. One is being done for the benefit of the international capital, benefit of finance capital, and other is done for the benefit of Adanis and Ambanis, because that area, the areas which are being inhabited by the Adivasis, those areas are generally mineral-rich areas. As in West Bengal or in Jharkhand, the Adivasis are being disturbed. There are attempts, there are designs to disturb the Adivasi-dominated places. This is the worst of time. And the best of time, if we come to best of time, we shall be taking so much of time. I don't have that time. But I'll say that we have got to be extremely, extremely careful, because our cause is to afford the cause of humanity. When you talk of socialism, it is a humanity that we want to establish in this world, in this inhuman world today. What is happening in the entire Africa, or rather North Africa, in Middle East, in West Asia. Because the crisis of capitalism, international capitalism, the crisis of finance capitalism, those cannot be contained now. From 2007, what is manifested, what has ravaged the world, different parts of the world, particularly the European countries and other countries. World War III is difficult because of nuclear armaments with many countries. But insofar as regional warfare is concerned, this is being made possible by the US imperialism. Because US imperialism is a custodian of international capitalism in post-Second World War situation. We shall have to bear it in our mind. That there is an inherent crisis of international finance capital. There is an inherent crisis of metropolitan capital. That is being converted to the wars, regional wars, atrocities of the people, extermination of races, the rise of far-right political forces. We have got to combat those. And the best of times, as Lenin said, Vladimir Ilyich Lenin said, the crisis of capitalism is a festivity of the people. Crisis of capitalism will be celebrated by the people. The people means working class, the peasantry, the common middle class, the youth, the students. Everybody will join hands to make it a best of time. By dislodging the capitalists, by dislodging the finance capital from the citadel of power in different countries. In India, if we come back to India, we are worried. The democratic rights are being trampled at will. The constitution is being tampered, trampled, and as well as deserted. Because to any Marxist analysis, the paradigm of development that is being pursued, followed by the international capital, in the name of neoliberalism is nothing but neo-fascism. And no development of capitalism can take place in a democratic environment. It cannot be. The democracy as we perceive will be maintained and capitalism will develop. It cannot be. So we have to challenge the paradigm of development. The paradigm of development has to be challenged. The paradigm of what is being envisaged by the international capital in the name of neoliberalism is essentially against the constitution of India, against the humanity all over the world. So we have got to consider this. When in the constitution, the right to freedom of speech, as inscribed in 19(1)(a), is being throttled. We have to remember that when I always remember that I have lost my friend, Comrade Sitaram Yechury. I always remember. He was a person who had no pretension at all. I always remember. At the same time, he or me or every one of us will remember the way Stan Swami of Jharkhand has been killed, has been murdered virtually in the Teleja fort, the way he has been murdered. Because he tried to uphold the cause of the Constitution, tried to uphold the cause of humanity. What are the pressing problems that we are facing as on today? Problem of price rise, skyrocketing price rise. Even day before yesterday or some 2-3 days back, NPPA, the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, they have declared that 748 medicines will be costing more. It's already beyond the purchasing capacity of the people. Now the NPPA has decided that it will be increased further. The prices of petroleum, prices of diesel, there is nothing is being thought of. So we have got a long way to go to fight against inflation, fight against that skyrocketing price rise, fighting against unprecedented unemployment, and also to fight against atrocities on the women. This is quite natural. This we understand. The women are the targets. Minor girls are the targets. So therefore, comrades, your 24th Party Congress is obviously going to discuss all these issues, and I'm sure that you will reach the right conclusion. I shall not extend my deliberation further. To take your time, thank you so much. Wish you all success. Inqilab Zindabad. Lal Salam to everybody.
Extending our thanks to Comrade Manoj Bhattacharya for his deliberation. Last speaker, G. Devarajan, General Secretary, Forward Bloc of India. I am inviting him to deliver his speech on this inaugural session.
Comrade Chairman, distinguished guests, comrades delegates, and friends. Before I greet this 24th Congress of Communist Party of India Marxist, I would like to pay my respectful homage to Comrade Sitaram Yechury, Comrade Buddhadev Bhattacharya, Comrade Kodiyeri Balakrishnan, Comrade Shankarayya, and other leaders of Communist Party of India Marxists who left us during this period. In fact, Comrade Sitaram Yechury and myself were together in a meeting at Harkishan Singh Surjit Bhavan on Cuba and Palestine, just 1 week before he was hospitalized. I still saw his face here, his easygoing body language, his gentle demeanor, his oratorical eloquence. I can't forget, because when I reached Delhi as a student leader, I used to get advice how can be a true left activist. So, Comrade Sitaram Yechury ko Lal Salam. Comrade, indeed, it is an honor to stand before you today, this August gathering, to address you as a representative of All India Forward Bloc, the party founded by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. On this momentous occasion of 24th Congress of CPIM, I extend my sincere and heartfelt greetings and best wishes to all the delegates, leaders, and members. I deem it is not just a gathering of minds. It is a reaffirmation of our shared commitment, a commitment for justice, equality, and socialism. We have taken up the issues of working people, the peasants, the farmers, and the marginalized. We have taken these issues with unwavering commitment. Our dedication to this cause of these working people, the peasants, for social equality, that is why we are the credible political force in India, the left parties. Comrades, the left parties have played and continue to play a crucial role in Indian politics as a corrective force. In a political landscape that often seems dominated by corporate interest, neoliberal policies, and the concentration of the power in the hands of a few, we once who stand as the conscience of the nation. We are the voice of the people, those who have been silenced by the forces of exploitation. We become the voice of the voiceless. Because whenever the left parties are mobilizing the people, we are getting incredible support from the masses. When we are organizing peasant movement, trade union movement, youth movement, people are coming to us, the growing support. See, in India, there are 11 central trade unions. Out of 11 central trade unions, 7 trade unions are holding red flag, except INGUC, BMS, or SEVA, or LPF and LPF. 7 central trade unions are holding red flag. The trade unions are mobilizing the people both from informal and formal sector. We are getting the growing support on the street, in the factories, on farms, and in the hearts of millions. But we are consistently facing a challenge. If we are facing a challenge, the challenge is translating this growing support, the popular support, into electoral success. We should ask one question. The support we are garnering on the street, why it is not fully converted into the ballot box? Comrade, this is a challenge. It is a challenge, no doubt. But this challenge, we have to confront head on, not with despair, with introspection and strategic reimagining of our approach. It is needed. Because nowadays everything is being counted. How much you are representing in the decision-making forums, whether it is parliament or assemblies. We, the left parties, have adapted to the evolving political landscape. Our old methods, though successful in certain contests, but it is not sufficient in addressing the complex realities of today's India. It is a fact. So we have to we have to engage new forms of political communication, leverage of social media, and we have to modernize our social outreach without compromising our basic principles. It is needed now. Because the Indian left is at crossroads. It is a reality now. From here, how we can move further, that is a big question which we are facing. So the strategic reimagining of our approach is the need of the hour that I felt. Don't take it otherwise. These are the reflections in the meetings of our party. So I think this is the right forum I have to share what we have discussing as a left party in our forums for this August House, because I know that the deliberations, the resolution which you are going to adopt will open a new chapter for the left movement of our country. So from there we have to take the inspiration. I have no hesitation in recognizing the role being played by Communist Party of India, Marxist, in holding high the banner of struggle for equality, for social justice, and for socialism. The other left parties, they have not only shown no hesitation in standing with the CPM in this fight, but provided firm support also. So this is the duty, this is the forum. That is why I'm just raising this issue here. Because our country is in a historical crossroads now. The forces of communalism and crony capitalism is tightening their grip. Everywhere you can see. Whenever we raise the issue of unemployment, price rise, or the crony capitalist mechanisms, the ruling clique always trying to divide our society in the name of religion, caste, and ethnicity. This is what happening every day. So where we, the people, are also being marginalized. The left also being marginalized. So the force which we are having on the street, that it is the right time. We have to think in a new way. We have to adopt new vision and new methods. I don't want to say nothing much that because these entire national and natural assets, they are being handing over to the corporate capitalists. So we the people are fighting on the streets. So this is our responsibility of this challenging time. So the call for left unity. From this forum also, we used to raise this slogan, left unity. It should not be a political necessity. It is not only a political necessity otherwise. It is a moral imperative. It is a moral imperative, comrades. Otherwise, we will not stand in the long way. I sincerely believe that this Congress of Communist Party of India Marxist will definitely give us new direction, how to take the left movement of our country, and most importantly, that we must stay to our roots for an unwavering commitment to the working people and the marginalized. Our agenda must be centered on their needs, their aspirations, and their struggles. Let us, this Congress, be the beginning of a new chapter. Let us commit ourselves to introspection and to the correction of our courses. Let us engage with the masses with renewed vigor, enthusiasm, and determination. Let us organize, mobilize, and galvanize the people not just on the street, but at the ballot box as well. Let this be our motion. Let be our mission to bring the voice of the workers, peasants, and marginalized communities into the center of India's political discourse, to ensure that marginalized communities and the struggle of those who have been sidelined not only heard, but also translated into political power. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to address this August gathering. And I hope that in the coming days, a new chapter in the history of the left movement will be opened from this, after concluding this historical Congress of Communist Party of India Marxist. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
The speeches are over. We would like to convey our thanks to Comrade D. Raja, who has delivered his speech to this inaugural session. What I would like to mention, in a big way, you have attended this inaugural session and cooperated with us to conduct this session in a very modest manner. Therefore, I would like to convey our thanks and gratitude to you all. Now, a very small program for felicitation. It will be conducted by the chairman of the reception committee. After that, we will disperse for a few times, and at just 1 p.m., the delegate session will start. So, therefore, I would like to draw the attention of the delegates that they should come to the conference hall just at 1 p.m.
Comrade, this is a facilitating momentum. I request Comrade P. Sampath to honor Comrade Biman Basu, who was the senior most leader of our party, and he hoisted the red flag at the venue. Comrade P. Sampath, Biman Basu. இங்கே ஓகே வாய்ஸ் I request Comrade U. Vasagi to honor Comrade Prakash Karat, who has inaugurated the conference, our coordinator who inaugurated the conference. I request Comrade N. Gunasekharan to honor Comrade Mani Sarkar, who is the chairman of the open session. I request Comrade P. Shanmugam, our State Committee Secretary, honor Comrade D. Raja, who is the General Secretary of the Communist Party of India. I request Comrade K. Samuel Raj to honor Comrade Dipankar Bhattacharya, General Secretary, CPI-ML. I request Comrade S. Kannan to honor Comrade Manoj Bhattacharya, General Secretary, RSP. I request Comrade Madhuko Ramalingam to honor Comrade Devarajan, General Secretary, All India Forward Bloc. I request all the lefty leaders to join hands for a photo session.
So, I would like to declare the inaugural session is over. Thank you all.